Okay, we are live, and tonight we'll be talking about the stopping of future gun laws and what's just inspired in the last week, and what we can do to avoid any gun control. Our guest tonight is John Crump. So, John, introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is John Crump. I am the director of the state of Virginia for Gun Owners of America, and I'm also a writer for AmmoLand.com.
Very good. I love Amaland. I read your articles, and they are some of the best I've ever seen. All right, so what transpired in the last 2 week was a shooting in Atlanta and one yesterday in Colorado. And today we had Biden come out and basically want to get more gun control.
Yep, Rahm Emanuel said, "You never let a tragedy go to waste," and they are not wasting any time with us.
Right. What we need to do is call our senators and representatives and even local officials when it comes to state level and urge them to oppose any gun control. Even with the laws on the books, nothing would have stopped what happened.
Exactly. Criminals don't pay attention to the laws.
No, they don't. W- From what they're going to say, I think this recent shooting in Colorado is going to be swept under the rug because the guy was an anti Trumper and pro Biden supporter.
Yeah, that might be what happens. We will see. Or they'll just leave that part of the story out.
Yeah. As of right now, I've seen on social media a lot of posts coming out, and one of them was from the Pew Pew Jew who posted an article by Moms Demand Action, Shannon Watts, which I don't know if you've seen the post on that.
Now, I can probably guess which one what it's about. Probably around 2014, Moms Demand Action pressured Kroger into banning guns in their stores.
No, this was right after the Colorado shooting. Shannon Watts came out and made a comment on that shooting. It's like, after what I read, it's like he passed a background check, and she's claiming there's no background checks at all.
Exactly, it goes to show that they're useless.
They are useless. We need a fight to repeal a lot of these laws, including background checks.
Yeah, I 100% agree. Background checks are an infringement on our rights.
Right. And we got so many infringements. Now Biden's calling for an all out ban on any semi automatic.
Yeah, of course he is.
All right. So, from the start of February 14th, when he came out and made the statement on the anniversary of the tragic shooting in Parkland, and then about 5 weeks later, we had, well, it would have been last week, the shooting in Atlanta, and then this. And now's the time for us to be on full alert.
Yeah, it is. They're definitely going to be pushing gun control. There's actually um, a subcommittee hearing, and it's a really an anti-gun hearing that's going on in Capitol Hill. I know Schumer said that they're going to try to pass gun control. We'll see what happens. We just have to remember that we need to stay strong.
Yes, we need to stay strong. We need to start bringing in all different people of in the Amendment community. We know what it's for, but then you got your hunters, your collectors, your antique buyers. You need to tell them, what comes next after they ban ARs. Then they'll look at the size of ammo for like a hunting rifle and say, "Oh, 30-06, that's way too big." You look at 22, "Oh, that's perfect. That's the biggest round you guys need."
Yeah, it's always that slippery slope, right?
Right. And that's what Pelosi said when the bump stock ban came in. She wanted the bump stock ban because she said it's a slippery slope.
Exactly. You take that one day. Then you take something else the next day. You keep on moving that goalpost with those goalposts.
Right. We have we have 1446 being introduced in HR 8. Those two bills look to close loopholes as they refer to them as. Oh, sorry. Loopholes.
Well,
Sorry,
yeah,
I was trying.
one is a universal background check, and the other one is um, it will allow basically the FBI will have 10 days to complete your background check. Then after 10 days, if they haven't completed your background check, you have the ability to petition them to complete your background check. Then you have to wait another 10 days.
See, that's illegal. And when they say loophole, we know they're not real, but if you think like them, you understand why that term loophole comes in. It's an easier way to get people to say we need better laws at preventing crime. When they say gun show loophole, the only loophole there is a very tiny percent, and that's only private sales. There's no loophole. And the Charleston loophole doesn't even exist just because your background check ain't completed in 3 days. You should be able to pick up a gun without a background check anyway.
I absolutely agree. Remember that scene in Red Dawn where the guy goes, "Go get the 4473 forms."
Yes. Yes, that's basically registration.
It is. It's a registration. It was supposed to be a gateway to registration. We have beat it back so far, but they're going to keep on trying to push and push and push into the registration. And registration always leads to confiscation.
Confiscation. Yeah, and I know I've seen a documentary on how gun control worked in other countries called Innocence Betrayed.
I've not seen that. What is that about?
It's a documentary on all gun control from 1915 through today. It's
I'm
on
gonna,
YouTube.
I'm gonna have to take a look at it.
It's about an hour long. It's really interesting.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to take a look at it.
Yeah. So right now, and as you just said about Red Dawn, which is actually one of my favorite 80s films, eh, I look at 4473s as automatic registrations, and it's really not at like what they're claiming it is. Some um, extreme gun people, which I have no problem with that, who believe all gun laws are illegal anyway. Um, when you fill out that 4473, you get the make, model, or the make's on it, right?
Yeah, make, model, serial number.
Okay. No, federally it won't be registered, but what ATF does is if it's used in a crime, they can track it back to the paperwork.
Yeah, it's called a trace. What they do is they will call up the manufacturer, say who bought this gun, and they'll say something like RSR or Davidson's or one of the other big distributors. And they'll call that distributor and say who bought this gun, and they'll say Joe Bob's gun shop. And then they go there and they go, who bought this gun? And they say John Doe bought that gun, and then they go like that. But here's the scary part. Uh, they changed the way the 4473s look, so the pertinent information is on the front page. And what they're using now in the ATF is when a FFL goes out of business, they are they are using high-speed scanners to scan those documents into a searchable database using OCR technology, which is optical character recognition technology. So basically, what they're doing is they're scanning that into a database, which is now searchable.
So now, oh, even without the database, search base, how the 4473 could be used as a registration is that paperwork has your name and address on there, plus the gun and model. They don't need it in the NICS system. All ATF has to do is go to the shop and pick up that form, look up John Doe, 4474 Lincoln Drive, Louisville, Kentucky. they probably, if even if they didn't have the make or model or serial number on the form right now, or at least maybe the serial number, but not who made the gun, like Glock, they could go to the house and just say, "You have a gun with this serial number."
That's correct.
That's why I prefer to buy mostly privately, so they're not 4473'd. And I've only filled out very few 4473s.
Yeah, but that's what they're trying to close down. Like Virginia, we have universal background checks now, but
Uh,
they're trying to close it down nationwide. So we're fighting back against that. Um, we have we have a universal background check here, but if we're trying to stop it for the rest of the country.
yeah, wait, so even in the 2A sanctuaries, they have to enforce that?
Yeah, they do at the gun shops.
So, so in the sanctuary counties in Virginia, they're saying you better enforce universal background checks.
Well, it's not the local sheriffs that would enforce it. It's the feds. It's the ATF boys, basically.
Uh, you know, and I'm not trying to say I support ATF. I don't like the agency, but not everyone in ATF is bad. You got some good, decent, honest workers, and some of them are retired now. But like the two
Yeah.
you've, but like the two you mentioned, the acting director and who was the other one?
The acting director is Regina Lombardo, and the assistant acting director is, or acting assistant director is Marvin Richardson.
See, those are the kind of people who should not be in ATF, but they are. They want to enforce gun control.
Yeah, the career board bureaucrats, and they want the permanent job, so they're auditioning for the permanent job in front of Biden by trying to be as anti-gun as possible.
And weren't those the two who made the honey badger illegal and then tried to go after um, like AR and AK pistols with braces?
Uh, yeah, it's mostly Marvin Richardson, and there is another guy there that really hates him. His name escapes me right now, but there's two people there that really hate the braces.
What I find ironic is way before the election, ATF met with Biden to discuss what they wanted for gun control. 80% lowers and braces.
Yeah, well, they met with they had a conversation with the transition team. I'm not sure if that was a face-to-face meeting, a phone call, or whatnot. It wasn't Biden directly, but it was his transition team.
Yeah, and then look what just happened in with Eagle Arms and JSD. They basically told him you can't sell 80% at our gun shows anymore.
Yeah, but JSC's back.
Oh, they got back in?
Yeah, Eagle Arms reversed the decision basically due to
Good.
public backlash.
Yeah, because if they're supposed to be pro gun, why would you say you can't sell your 80% lowers? I mean, I think it was either on your video or Hank's video where you had Jordan on there and he was explaining that out of 5,000 guns used in crime, only 99 of them are home built.
I think that was on Hank's show.
Now, I wasn't sure if it was when you did the interview with him or Hank show, but when I heard that, I'm like, so 4,091 guns all had traces, and you're worried about what, maybe 8% of guns?
It's less than that. I mean, it's just an insanely small number.
Yeah. But why go after home builds? I like how they use the term ghost guns on it
It's
because
a
they think
scary
they're,
term.
yeah, because they think it's untraceable because there's no serial number. They're traceable. All if it shows up in a crime, oh, the ain't the name of the manufacturer on there like JSD? Aren't their names on those frames?
Yeah, I mean, uh, they're trying to say it's not traceable because you can buy them at cash at gun shows. That is their point.
Yeah,
But, I'd rather have dangerous freedom than no freedom at all.
yeah. And I wouldn't know how to build a whole rifle out of an 80%. So I'd rather buy a
Yeah,
complete stripped lower and just build that way.
it's not the easiest thing in the world.
No, it's not. But there's people out there who can do it, and I think if you're gonna build it, so what? It's legal. I
Yeah,
know I know in California, if you want to build a rifle out of an 80% lower, you still got to get a serial number.
yeah, yeah. In California, you do. You have to go through the whole process of getting a serial number on it. It's a pain in the butt. I mean, it can be done, but it's a pain in the butt, and we shouldn't have to do it. I mean, it's
I
it's
don't
it's an infringement on our rights.
I don't think any gun should have a serial number on it.
No, I don't either.
Because I think before 68, they weren't serialized except for NFA guns.
They didn't have to be.
Right. And then after 68, they serialized all guns.
Yeah, after the Gun Control Act of 1968, before that, they didn't have to be serialized, so you could have a gun that's not serialized. There was a lot of guns that were serialized, but it wasn't a requirement.
Huh, did not know that part.
Yeah, I have a couple guns downstairs that are pre 1968 without serial numbers. But
That's
there's
good.
other guns. There's a couple guns I have that are pre 1968 that do have serial numbers.
Huh, that's kind of interesting to know. I
It
know,
just kind of it didn't go into a database though. That's the whole thing.
good. One of the scary things, though, if they were to get universal background checks passed federally, which we're going to fight that they fight back against it. If you have a gun without that serial number and you're caught with it, you could probably go to jail
Yeah.
if because there's
Oh
no if it has no serial number.
usually there's an exception that they put in for uh, guns that are older than 1968. The federal background check bill won't change that at all. If they like a a so-called ghost gun bill might change it that require guns to have serial numbers. Um, and that's when you're going to run into issues with non-serialized firearms because they're just too old.
Yeah. Um, I had something to say, but I forget. Oh, well, with HR 127, one of the things that that bill had was that you had to register all your guns with the federal government. So if it
Yeah,
didn't have a,
HR 127 had no chance of passing. It didn't even have a co-sponsor. Don't waste. For people out there, don't ever waste your energy on HR 127 because anyone who tells you that you need to give money to them to help defeat HR 127 is just trying to separate you from your money. HR 127 is not a threat. Sheila Jackson Lee's bill is going nowhere. There's zero co-sponsors and not even the Democrats support it.
yeah, because they like their jobs too. So that's why they don't want to back it. Because last time they backed major gun control, they were out in 1996.
Well, it's not only that; it's just it's insane. It's like
It
every
is
anti-gun thing in the
insane.
world.
That's everything an anti-gunner would want. But there's one way they can pass HR 127 without using that exact bill. And that's take parts of the bill out and put it in different bills.
Sorry about that.
No, you're fine. Um, right before you went out, like I said, how they could pass HR 127 without using that exact bill. You take pieces out and put it in different bills.
Yeah, which I think they're what you're going to see most likely them do. I know Feinstein's already introduced her salt lemons ban that she introduces every session.
Oh
Uh,
gosh, not again.
yeah, so you're going to see different parts of it being broken out.
And then that's how we got the 1994 crime bill,
Exactly.
which didn't really ban ARs, it just banned the features in your magazines were limited to 10 rounds.
That is correct. But now they're trying to get an overall ban with no sunset.
Yeah, and that's why it's better to fight now than it is to let them pass it and then just do whatever they want. A couple of weeks ago, I hope YouTube does not pull the stream for what I'm about to say. I was at a pawn shop talking with some people, and this guy I talked to, they were looking for 9mm Makarov ammo. It,
Mhm.
that stuff's actually getting hard to find too, is the Makarov ammo.
Yeah, all ammo's being hard to find, no matter what type of caliber. I shoot some weird calibers and like
The
458 SOCOM and stuff like that, and that stuff's impossible to find right now anyway.
Which is strange. I mean, I could see 5.56, 223, 45, 10mm, 9mm being more your harder ones, but your 9x18, your 303, your 6.5, like Swedish and Carcano, stuff like that. You wouldn't expect that stuff to be hard to find because that's not real popular.
Yeah, well, it's not real popular until they can't find the other ammo, so they go buy guns that shoot that, and now they need ammo for it.
Yep, and that's why I like the older stuff because I can get more ammo for that than I could say an AR or a Glock. But
Yeah.
um but anyway, so this guy I was talking to, he said he had a buddy who sold off everything he owned to get guns and ammo, and he had another buddy of his buy a large acre of land to train militia. So I hope I don't get pulled for saying this, but I think we might be expecting something big to happen. I would rather fight with my phone and email to avoid any conflict.
Yeah, I mean, we should always look to restoration before revolution. What I mean by that is to restore the Constitution to what
Right.
it was, and to do that through uh, the courts and through elections and things like that before any other steps are taken. Or we might be going down that road, but we're not there yet, and
No.
hopefully we never get there. But
I
yeah, we
mean,
should look to court systems, also like voting and stuff like that.
yeah. No, but even the court systems are corrupt. I mean, even after the last election, they did not take up anything, and Biden got in.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the election's over, and right now, Biden is the one in power, and he's the one that we have to deal with.
Yes.
So, worrying about the last election as of right now is not where we need to focus our
Yeah.
energy on. It
It's
is fighting the current battles and future battles.
yes. No, people are saying no, no, election thing ain't real big on this, but they said hold on till 2024. I forget where I seen that. I think it might have been on Facebook. I said, why 2024? If we can take the House and Senate in 2022, we have a better chance at stopping stuff.
If we can make gains back in the House and take back the Senate, maybe we take back both in 2022. I think we can stop stuff, and then concentrate on putting a pro-gun president in the White House in 2024.
Yeah, we need some pro freedom people. I not just pro gun, but extremely pro freedom.
Pro-liberty.
Pro liberty, yeah.
That's definitely what we need, because right now we don't have pro-liberty. We have Biden and his cronies, he takes marching orders from billionaire anti-gun
Soros,
people.
Soros, Bloomberg, you name it. Those people are the ones who bought off states.
Yeah.
Like you told me a while back on the movie Rocky Mountain Heist, how Bloomberg spent money to get Colorado and then Virginia.
hmm Then he tried Texas and he was defeated soundly in Texas.
Oh yeah, big time. And I seen where they're trying to get constitutional carry in Texas. We
Yes.
should out of state people call Texas to tell them that even out of state people support constitutional carry in that state.
Everyone should call him.
That's a good.
Not only Texans, but everyone. Uh, Rachel Malone and Felicia Bowl are working really hard to get those bills pushed through. Those are two local gun advocates in Texas.
I've been wanting to try to get through to her, but I can't seem to get through to her. Like,
She's incredibly busy.
yeah, with all the work GOA is doing across the country, we got you guys, we got FPC, Second Amendment Foundation, and one group I will have troubles trying to mention, but I'll just say it. Even NRA, because right now, I think they're starting to hopefully fight some of these laws that are being passed.
Yeah, I think all the groups are right now. It's all hands on deck. Everyone knows what's at risk, and we are trying to fight back the tide.
Yeah, we need to. Even groups need to come together, even if they believe in common sense, which we know is not a good thing to believe in. We still need to bring groups together to all work together, individuals and state groups.
Yeah, states is very important in the battle.
Yeah, because you fight at state level now. Here in Ohio, we've had some gun control measures try to pass, but they never did. But I do more fighting federally of calling federal level elected officials. And if anything in the state passes, that's when I call my state officials. Or like not passes, but it's being proposed.
Yeah, I have to keep an eye on Virginia and also keep an eye on nationally and plus other states as well. Like
Oh yeah.
Pennsylvania, they have uh, working their way through their legislature, and so we have to defeat those. There's some really bad bills in Florida as well.
Oh yeah. Florida has a lot of bad ones. I mean, just back in January, the Democratic Senator Farmer actually introduced the assault weapons ban.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens, but we have to fight back and push back against like all these really bad laws.
Yes, extremely bad gun laws, which all of them are bad,
Yeah,
and
all gun laws are bad.
they're all illegal and unconstitutional. The only
Oh yeah.
one that the only gun law that kind of seems to work is the Hughes Amendment because not many crimes are committed with machine guns, but well, we better just ban them because well, they're full auto, and I don't like that. That was
Not
my
many
big.
guns not many guns are committed with machine guns before the Hughes Amendment.
We had the gangster shootings of the 30s. I know there was a
Yeah, but
couple of
that was that was more exceedingly rare than what people thought.
right. Then I know there was a couple cases that cops used machine guns to murder people. One was because he was off work at the time, and a
Yeah, that was
plumber knew.
final.
And one of the Mac mentioned was a guy who killed a guy who was nailing his wife,
Yeah.
and that's like that was in what maybe before '86, and then of course in '97 we had the North Hollywood shootout, which happened under a ban on semi-automatic rifles.
Yeah, look how well gun laws work there.
None.
No, criminals do not obey the law.
That's right. But since Hughes took effect, that was the only crime I could think of was North Hollywood. But if now I heard this now, if you know what you're doing just right, with an hour lower, you could put that third hole in there. But just because you can doesn't mean you'll do it. That's a total thought police thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And speaking, as we were talking a little bit ago about Liberty, I just watched again since December. The first I'm watching the Sons of Liberty. You ever see that?
I have not, but like my great whatever grandfather was General Isaiah Putman.
Never heard of him.
You heard of Battle of Bunker Hill?
Yeah.
He was the general in charge. He was the right hand man of Washington.
Hmm. Very interesting.
Yeah. So the first battle of the not Civil War, the Revolutionary
Revolutionary
War
War.
was led by my a long time ago grandfather.
That's interesting. I should see who I'm related to from the forefather times. It'd be kind of cool if it was John or not John Adams, Samuel Adams.
Yeah.
So his character on the show was a brute who defied the government.
Well, yeah, though that's the way he was.
Yep, that's the kind of that's what we need to do. We need to stand up to our government and say, "We put you in there. We're your employers. We can fire you."
That's the way it should be.
Yeah, they think they're the ones in charge.
Yeah, they're supposed to be representatives, not
That's
leaders, but representatives.
that's right. If we can get more pro freedom loving liberty people to run, maybe we might have a chance.
Yeah, I mean they're out there. It's just running is. I mean, I mean, it's people aren't too nice.
Right. And it's more or less right now we're trying to fight a level of different bills being introduced versus what each side wants. But there are Democrats who are pro gun and there's Republicans who are anti gun. So it's hard to see who's who. I mean, my Democratic senator is Sherrod Brown, and he's extremely anti-gun. And my Republican senator, who's actually not running again, is Rob Portman, who is anti-gun. Like he flip flops on guns.
Yeah, a lot of them do that.
Oh yeah. But for my representative, Jim Jordan, I'm glad he's extremely pro-gun. So he's someone I can call and email to urge to oppose any gun control laws.
Yeah, Jim Jordan's a good guy.
Yeah, he is. I mean, he is one of the best fighters I have for Ohio, and he represents my district, 4th district.
Yeah, uh, Jim Jordan is a very good guy.
Yeah. I know Ted Cruz is one I like too, because he introduced a bill not too long ago to have term limits.
Yeah, I think they definitely need term limits.
Yeah. No, the one thing about term limits I don't like is it means after their time's up, they can't run for that position again, which means we need to find people who are willing to fight like they did.
Yes, exactly.
But term limits are a good thing because that ain't what the founding fathers had in mind when they envisioned the country. They don't want career politicians.
Yeah, we definitely don't want career politicians.
No, we want to have maybe a 2-term limit for Senate and the House. And we already got 8 years for the presidency for 2 terms. And I think that should be set for all elected positions, not just federally, but state and locally.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Now, one thing to do to help ensure gun laws don't pass is always call your local sheriff.
That is true.
And I called mine last Friday, and he is very pro gun.
Well, that is sorry. I was
That's
trying to
fine.
send you a message.
A message? I actually
Yeah.
got it in private chat.
All right, I'm back again.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, I just seen that. But anyway, my sheriff said, he's spoken around the area about where he stands on the Second Amendment. Now, the only law he said he would probably enforce right now is the current one on domestic violence and the stuff like that that passed back in the 60s through the 90s. But like red flag laws and stuff like that, he would not enforce that.
Well, that's a good thing. More sheriffs need to be like him.
Oh, yeah. And I mean, if I ever get an opportunity and I see whether it's a state,
What was your train of thought there?
no, you,
Are you frozen up?
no, you keep going on mute. So, but if I ever see an
Yeah,
officer,
yeah.
whether a
I'm
state,
trying to get I'm trying to get my kid to calm down. So
oh, okay,
that's why I go on mute. Go ahead and laugh.
okay, yeah, no, I didn't lose my train of thought. But if I,
What's going on?
anyway, if it keeps going on mute, yours does.
Oh,
But anyway, if I see a local officer or sheriff, anyway, if I see a sheriff, a local officer,
you all right?
yeah, your thing keeps going on mute.
Huh?
But anyway, if I see a okay.
Can you hear me? Oh, oh.
All right, are you back? Okay, anyway, but if I see a local officer,
What's
sheriff, all right.
are you messing with me?
No, I was just waiting right here. They just started haywiring, like there'd be a light through the microphone and then it would go away and come back.
Yeah, it says you've been removed.
It kept going out and you kept having to reconnect.
Don't keep on telling me you're removing me.
I'm not removing you. I have my arrow moved away, I swear. I thought it
Probably,
was I thought
probably
might have been
StreamYard.
yeah. But anyway, if I see a local officer, sheriff, or state trooper,
Or try. Let's give this one more try.
okay. But anyway, if I see any local officer, whether it be sheriff, um, city, or state trooper,
I think it might be StreamYard.
I wonder if it's because every time try to mention the three major police types, I see sheriff, local, or state trooper. I talk. Okay, so if I see any officer from the three different branches around here, I talk with them, and some of them actually stand on the pro gun side.
Yeah, that's good. Well, if I get disconnected again, I think I'm just gonna call it a night. 'Cause
Okay, yeah, I'm
I
not
think
disconnected.
I think I've reconnected like 18 times.
Yeah, I don't think it's
It
not me
keeps
disconnecting you.
well, it keeps on saying you've been removed from.
Yeah, no, I have the mouse arrow moved away from it. It's like right between where people chat and my screen.
Yeah, I have no idea. It's probably just StreamYard. Like I said,
Yeah,
StreamYard sometimes will get buggy.
yeah. I did not know that because every time we've used it, and I've used it a lot, so it never did this until tonight.
Yeah, it's usually really stable.
Yeah, that's why because, like I said, I was trying to mention local police,